You guys have to stop buying these cars. I just have to say it. The average person that is buying an E38 needs to not buy an E38. Let me explain why. This right here. This is the service records that I have for my single owner BMW E38 740i. It's amazing to come across a car like this, even with its 270,000 miles, that has a service record this deep. But what it shows and what it proves and has the receipts to prove is that these cars are very expensive. Now, if you look at what current listing prices are, they're not expensive. You can pick up one of these cars from anywhere from $2,000 to $7,000, and it's in pretty decent running condition. It's in good enough running condition. Good enough that you'll show up with your money in hand, take it for a drive and be like, man, this thing's rad. I'm gonna buy it. But then this. Which in this video, I'm not gonna talk about how much all this actually adds up to. My next video is going to be me adding up every single dollar that was spent on this car throughout its entire life to include its original sticker price, and then adjust every single one of those expenses for inflation so that I can tell you in today's dollars how much an E38 cost. It's kind of crazy. It's already crazy. I'm only like 20 records deep, and the number kind of already hurts my feelings. And then, of course, as I go along under my ownership, the amount of money that I've already spent once I picked up this cheap car to have it just be in okay condition, that has also hurt my feelings. Which those numbers I'll throw out. I paid $4,300 for this car. I have easily spent $10,000 within the first 6 months on just things that needed to be taken care of. The car was in actually pretty good running condition, but it had a little bit of an oil leak. That oil leak turned out to be the valve cover gaskets, which I paid a shop to do and didn't do myself. I know, not a mistake I'll repeat. And the amount of shop labor hours is not insignificant. So that, along with the couple other things that they did while they were in there, turned out to be expensive. And then I needed to do the brakes. And then I needed to put new tires on. And then I needed to replace all the speakers because the stock ones had just crumbled apart. And I needed to do this, and I needed to do that. And that bill is roughly somewhere around 10 grand, in which I'm not going to cite every single expense in this video because I have my next video coming up where we go through it all, line by line. But I keep coming across posts in the groups where somebody is like, I just picked up this car. What's the first thing that I should do? And that answer is to always reset your mind and start thinking proactively, because while you may have spent a small amount of money for this car, that does not mean that it is a cheap car. It means that you are able to purchase it cheaply, but the maintenance in order to fully stay on top of what it needs is going to cost every bit as much as that E90 M3 that you did not buy that cost a whole lot more money. But the maintenance on this is going to be every bit as much. The M62 is not an easy to work on engine. It takes more time, it takes more effort. The M62 requires effort to maintain, and that is either going to be you or it is going to be the person that you pay to work on it. And 54 twin turbo inline 6-cylinder is easier to work on than this. And the parts for this are kind of getting harder to find. Fortunately, this engine was used in a bunch of other cars, which is probably the only thing that has saved this car from just being a straight to scrap kind of car. But a lot of other things on this car are already no longer available. And so those parts, if you can find them, are not cheap. Small, ridiculous things. There's a small little bit of rubber trim that goes right here. They don't make that anymore. And it looks like a windshield wiper, and the only place that I can find is some dude on eBay, and he wants like $100 per side for this piece of rubber that is about that big. But you know, it's just the right size piece of rubber to fit in that space. So the windshield, in which mine has a tiniest of rock chips, those are no longer available. And clearly this car, given its records here, eats windshields. I think this is already on its third or fourth windshield in its lifetime. What is my point? My point is that these cars are expensive. It seems that the folk that buy them want a baller-ass looking car that they can slam on the nuts, and they will spend the money on the wheels, and they will spend the money on the suspension, and maybe some spacers, which I did all those things too. But then they don't want to spend any money on the maintenance, because they're like, why would I spend $7,000 to $8,000 on a timing chain guide job when I only spent $3,000 on the car? And so is their logic. But they don't think of the fact that this is a car that cost $100,000 to buy in today's dollars, and that it should be treated like that, not like a Hyundai that you only spent a couple $1,000s on. Because the driving experience that you have while driving this is still that of a $100,000 car. So I say all that to say this again. A lot of people need to stop buying these cars. That, bro, please just say no. Don't buy this car. Don't buy it. This is probably not the car for you, and that you should probably buy a cheaper car. Now I know there are all these videos on the internet that are like, you've got $10,000. Why would you buy this when you could buy that? And then that is always some amazing over-the-top car that has depreciated like crazy, and none of those videos want to talk about what it takes to actually keep that car on the road and well maintained. These cars are not cheap to maintain and keep on the road. They're expensive. You have to want it. Insert the Men in Black meme right here.
Is it worth it? Oh yeah, it's worth it if you're strong enough.
Because that's what it's really about. Now that you know these things, if you're willing to consider buying one of these still, then I say do it. Because the time and the effort is definitely worth every little bit. It's worth the sweat, it's worth the tears, it's worth the blood. Absolutely do it. Just know what you're doing. You're not buying a cheap car that is cheap to maintain. You're buying a car with a low buy-in that is going to require significant investment, but is going to be worth it. Not from an investment standpoint. This thing's going to run you into the bread for sure. We're not running blacks over here. These have not had the BMW investment bounce yet. Maybe they will. But that's not why you should ever buy one of these. You should buy one of these because it is the best 7 Series that was ever made. It is the best looking. There's no other 7 Series that I would want. I think that's the answer. Because normally 7 Series are just bloated. They are just BMW taking all their tech and then just adding a bigger car and more bells and whistles and squishier seats and selling it to people that have a shit ton of money to give them the most premium experience possible. But they are normally not the best performing. They normally don't have the most power. That normally is a 3 Series or 5 Series with an M attached to the name. And there was never any M's attached to any name with a 7. So, blah, blah, blah. So is it worth it? I think it's absolutely worth it. These cars are actually a lot of fun, and I think they're a lot of fun because of how big and slow they are relative to the other BMWs in the lineup. It just means that there's more potential. So from a tuner standpoint, there's actually a lot more you can do. These didn't even come with a rear sway bar, so I get to be the person to put a rear sway bar on it. We're going to weld on some brackets, and then we're going to put a sway bar on it and drastically change how this thing handles in a way that we have designed. I think that's pretty interesting. I think that's a lot of fun. It gives me more freedom to be the builder of the car. I'm not just tuning a car that's built. To me, that's pretty fun. So if you want a car that just looks amazing and that people will wave and nod and throw you peace signs and give you thumbs up every single time that you go out on the road, this is a car that you do want to buy. And even if you don't care about that kind of attention from other people, if you want an amazing, well-connected driving experience that is still comfortable, but still has that rear wheel drive, sporty handling feeling that gets your blood pumping, this is definitely the car that you want. If you want to have an understated car and have a shit ton of money and you really want to flex that you know the inside line of BMW and represent everything that is Bavarian and can afford to maintain and modify this car, this is your car. You want to be that dude at the get-together that has the absolute hero car that nobody else is showing up in? That's the car. Goddamn James Bond drove this car. James Bond did not drive an M3. James Bond did not drive an M5. James Bond, he drove an E38. Transporter wasn't filmed with an M5 or an M3. 7 Series. So, if you really want to really show how badass you are as a car enthusiast, a person that can build and maintain things and take care of it yourself, this is the car. This is the litmus mark. Can you keep one of these on the road? Are you brave enough? Are you strong enough? Do you have a whole bunch of disposable income that you don't care if you light on fire? That's your car. If you're like me and you're just stupid and will just do dumb things repeatedly despite experience telling you you shouldn't, that's your car. The rest of you should go buy Hondas, I think, or something. An old Toyota, not the new Toyotas, because you might as well just buy one of these if you're going to buy a new Toyota. And that's it. Hey, this video is just me goofing the hell off. I hope you don't mind. I just felt like being a dorkball to the camera. The next video, though, is going to be, I think, important, but also it's really boring for me to shoot. I'm currently just logging me documenting. That's not right. That's right. There we go. I'm filming myself doing data entry. I am taking the service records and I am putting them into the computer. And then I'm adjusting all these dollar amounts for inflation to put it in today's dollars so that I can say exactly how much it costs to keep one of these on the road as long as this car has been on the road. I've never seen a video like that. So I've kind of been putting it off because I think it's going to be a rad video, but I also don't think that the algorithm is going to give two shits about the video because it doesn't follow any YouTube trend at all. So I'm hoping that you guys find it interesting. That's where I'm at. That's where we'd be. That's what we're doing. The next video, I promise, is going to have a lot more meat and potatoes, less of this kind of video fluff. We'll see you in the next video. See you in the next video. I don't know why I do these things. Why? Oh, because of the algorithm. Dumb.